Welcome all of you to another brand new episode of Hollywood Sequels, a name which is very famous in its written form and made blockbusters in its cinematic form. Worldwide audiences are eagerly waiting for its each sequel release, especially children. Yes, it's none other than Harry Potter, an 8-series fantasy movie. The first 3 series were already discussed in the previous episode. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is the 4th movie. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is the 5th series. And the 6th installment is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is the 4th movie in the Harry Potter series and was released in 2005. The main change in this movie is that it was directed by a new director called Mike Neville. Steve Kloves wrote the screenplay of the movie based on J.K. Rowling's 2000 novel of the same name. Here also, Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley, and Emma Watson as Hermione Granger played the central characters. Robbie Coltrane as Rubeus Hagrid, Michael Gambon as Albus Dumbledore, Gary Oldman as Sirius Black, Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, Timothy Spall as Peter Pettigrew, and Bonnie Wright as Ron's sister Ginny reprise their roles, and the other stars are Ralph Fiennes as Lord Voldemort, the main antagonist, Brendan Gleeson as Alistair Mad-Eye Moody, Robert Pattinson as Hogwarts champion Cedric Diggory, Stanislav Levensky portrays Trumstrang champion. The outline of the film is that during Harry's 4th year, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry hosts a legendary event, the Triwizard Tournament. 3 European schools participate in the tournament, with 3 champions representing each school in the deadly task. Only wizards aged 17 and above may compete in the tournament. The Goblet of Fire chooses Fleur Delacour, Victor Crumb, and Cedric Diggory to compete against each other. However, curiously, Harry's name is also produced by the Goblet of Fire, thus making him the 4th champion, even though he is not eligible to take part in the tournament as per the age criteria. Subsequently, the tournament started, and one of the tasks results in a terrifying encounter with a reborn Lord Voldemort. Consequently, several dramatic incidents occurred, and finally, Harry defeated the enemies. Filming began in early 2004, 5 days after its 3rd release. It was also produced by Heyday Films and Warner Bros. Pictures with a budget of $150 million and was distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. Goblet of Fire enjoyed an immensely successful run at the box office, earning $896 million worldwide, which made it the highest grossing film of 2005 and the 6th highest grossing film of the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix was the 5th movie in the Harry Potter series and was released in 2007. The film was also directed by a new director called David Yates and written by a new writer called Michael Goldenberg, based on J.K. Rowling's 2003 novel of the same name. Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, alongside Rupert Grint and Emma Watson as Harry's best friends, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger are the central characters in the movie. Ralph Fiennes is Lord Voldemort, the main antagonist, Robbie Coltrane as Rubeus Hagrid, Michael Gambon as Albus Dumbledore, Gary Oldman as Sirius Black, Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, Bonnie Wright as Ron's sister Ginny, Brendan Gleeson as Alistair Mad-Eye Moody, and David Thewlis as Remus Lupin reprise their roles, and the other stars are Helena Bonham Carter as Bellatrix Lestrange, one of Voldemort's most loyal Death Eaters and the cousin of Sirius Black, Imelda Staunton as Dolores Umbridge, the new defense against the dark arts teacher and a plant from the corrupt Ministry of Magic. The movie depicts that after returning to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry for his 5th year, Harry discovers that Much of the wizarding world, including the Ministry of Magic, is in denial of the Lord Voldemort's return. The Order of the Phoenix, a secret organization founded by Albus Dumbledore, is using its vast array of wizards and witches' magical abilities to combat Voldemort. Cornelius Fudge, Minister of Magic, suspects that Dumbledore is using these claims of Dark Lord's return as a means to overthrow Fudge as minister. In retaliation, a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher is appointed by the ministry to keep an eye on Hogwarts. This new teacher, Professor Dolores Umbridge, implies strict new teachings and rules, forcing a group of students under the tutelage of Harry to form a club under the name Dumbledore's Army. However, Umbridge and her inquisitorial squad exposed Dumbledore's army. Consequently, Dumbledore was suspended and Umbridge became the new headmistress, and she made excessive control over the students, but later she failed. Meanwhile, Harry and his friends had a hard fight with Lord Voldemort and finally escaped from there with the help of Order of Phoenix. Consequently, Fudge is forced to admit that Voldemort has returned and resigns as minister in disgrace. Umbridge is removed from Hogwarts and Dumbledore returns as headmaster. Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix was produced by Heyday Films and Warner Bros. Pictures with a budget of $180 million and was distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. It collected over $942 million as worldwide and became the second highest grossing film of 2007 and fourth collected movie in the 8th series Harry Potter movie. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was the 6th movie in the Harry Potter series and was released in 2009. This film was also directed by David Yates and written by Steve Kloves, based on J.K. Rowling's 2005 novel of the same name. Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley, and Emma Watson as Hermione Granger are the main characters in this movie too. Robbie Coltrane as Rubeus Hagrid, Michael Gambon as Albus Dumbledore, Helena Bonham Carter as Bellatrix Lestrange, Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy, Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, Bonnie Wright as Ron's sister, Ginny. Reprise their roles, and the other stars are Jim Broadbent as Horace Slughorn, former potions professor returned to Hogwarts. Robert Knox as Marcus Belby, student in Hogwarts. The synopsis of the movie is that in Harry's 6th year at Hogwarts, Lord Voldemort and his Death Eaters are increasing their terror upon wizarding and Muggle worlds. Subsequently, Harry is taking private lessons with Dumbledore in order to learn about Voldemort's past so that they can destroy him forever. Dumbledore concludes that Voldemort has divided his soul into 6 Horcruxes, 2 of which have been destroyed: Tom Riddle's diary and Marvolo Gaunt's ring. Meanwhile, Voldemort sent Draco Malfoy to kill Dumbledore. Consequently, Harry and Dumbledore travel to a cave to find the remaining Horcrux to destroy Voldemort. However, Draco tries to kill Dumbledore with the help of Death Eaters, but he couldn't do it. Subsequently, Severus Snape killed Dumbledore in order to keep his vow. Eventually, Harry, Ron and Hermione decides to forego their final year at Hogwarts in order to track down the remaining Horcruxes to destroy Voldemort forever. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was produced by Warner Bros. Pictures and Heyday Films with a budget of $250 million and was the most expansive film in the Harry Potter series and was distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. It became a massive hit with a gross collection of $934.3 million as worldwide and became the second highest grossing film in 2009 and the 5th highest grossing film in the Harry Potter series. All of you will be impatient to know whether Harry and his friends were able to find the remaining Horcruxes. To know about that, catch next episode of Hollywood Sequels. Until then, this is Aksa signing off.